Hello ladies and gents, this is a bit of a video about shoes and veganism, because there's been a bit of a drama about a certain YouTuber and shoes recently, a certain vegan YouTuber and the shoes she wears recently. I thought I'd show you some of my shoes. These are the ones I've been wearing most often recently. They're from a company called Athletic. These are vegan. They're basically made of latex and I think a bit of denim, cotton of some kind. They're made of that. There's these ones as well from Free Rangers. These are denim shoes as well. They're just fairly plain. Remind me a bit of those kind of pumps, old school pumps you might have worn at school at my age. There's these ones from EcoVeganShoes.com. They're quite good. They do need a clean though. Let's look at that. They do need well overdue a clean. They're a little bit more like what you might call classic shoes. And again, I think they're made of various non-animal ingredients. There's also martial arts gear I might go over. These are a set of Muay Thai shorts. Fun story behind these, my brother bought me these while he was on holiday in Thailand, and he asked the person selling them, "Are these silk?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, they're silk. And he said, "Oh, well, he said they're for my brother, he doesn't wear silk because he's a vegan." And they were like, they're not silk. Look, of course these things aren't silk, they're obviously nylon. But it's funny the way they assumed, silk would have been a plus in this situation, which it wasn't. So, those, also, boxing gloves. Yeah, these are vinyl. I made sure of that. These are totally vinyl. I think my brother got me these as well, actually. He got me them for a birthday present or a Christmas present, I think, a few years back. That's what's up to them. They're totally vinyl. I did have a set of like Thai pads a while back. They're a bit worn out now, so I gave them away. But they were vinyl as well. I was very careful to check about that. Vinyl pads do have some advantages. They are lighter. They're lighter. You can move them about quicker, but they are maybe not as tough as leather, to be fair. Other thing I was going to mention was guitar straps. I use all my guitar straps are a bit like this. Now, this is actually made by the Levi's leather company, but this is actually not a leather strap. So it is made by a company that does leather, but this is basically a kind of plasticky. I think that's a woven nylon. I think that's woven nylon. It's obviously not leather or anything like that. These are the sort of things that people don't think about when they become vegan. When they think about veganism, they think about things like what they eat. What they eat is what they are mostly thinking about. Beer is another thing. People don't really think about what's in their beer. Some beer is vegan, some is not. I just thought I'd do a little bit of a video on that there, because it is an interesting topic. Completely avoiding dead animal is actually quite difficult in your daily life. I've managed to do it fairly well there, in terms of shoes, guitar straps, martial arts gear, but it's not always entirely easy. With martial arts, again, the gyms I go to, their gear is not always vegan, unfortunately. Some of they have leather punch bags or leather pads. It's not always possible to avoid that. The gear I buy myself, though, that I actually buy, any gear I buy of my own, I always make sure it's not leather. But yeah, it's where do you draw the line? It's very difficult. But yeah, this whole drama has been about shoes, and the problem is it's to do with this YouTuber called Fully Raw, Christina, who, for anyone who doesn't know, she's quite a popular vegan YouTuber. She, as her name would suggest, she lives a completely raw lifestyle, which is not something I actually agree with, but whatever. But the issue is there has been a photo of her wearing leather shoes that's been circulating the internet, and it's been the source of a drama. And some people have made the point that, like, well, like sort of the point I'm making now, that it's impossible to completely avoid animals, unfortunately, dead animal products, unfortunately. However, I think the difference with her is she's obviously quite a well-off individual. She has a lot of subscribers. She does YouTube professionally, and she's posted this photo to promote these shoes that she's wearing. She's posted it, as I understand it, to show these shoes off. And you think, well, if someone's got a fair amount of money, they could probably afford to shop around a bit and find some nice vegan shoes. And if for whatever reason they can't, it's just a little bit wrong maybe to start promoting these non-vegan shoes that you have to buy for necessity or whatever. Okay, maybe that's just a little bit wrong, I think. Perhaps people expect a bit more of you if you're, well off, very famous for being vegan and a big spokesperson within the community. Maybe people just expect a little bit more of you. I don't know. I think that's where this is coming from. But I thought I would talk about this topic a little bit, because it is difficult. It is, when you really look into it, difficult to avoid dead animal. But at the same time, I do think we should try and do our best. It's important to do that. To try and set the best example we can. But, yeah, let me know what you think, everyone. Goodbye.